All right, everybody, welcome to our highlight video for William Frey. His YouTube channel,
How's
pretty
it going,
interesting,
everyone?
Twilite Conspiracies. And well, we discovered his channel as a result of making our own videos. So I think he left a comment and I checked out his channel and I thought the videos were awesome and that it's a record breaker for unsubscribed channels. So please go over and have a subscribe. We'll leave the we'll leave the link in the description. And we'll put at the end of the video, there'll be something around somewhere for you to click on as well on your smart device, no matter how smart or unsmart it might be.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on. And
Yeah.
yeah, what's good? How's lovely Montana? Probably a little better than Pennsylvania,
Well,
I would suspect. Hotter than Pennsylvania too.
yeah. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's been really, really hot. I mean, the entire month of July was pretty hot, and it's still pretty hot and stuff. We've had a couple of cool nights and all that. But we had a lot of forest fire smoke and stuff from California and British Columbia come down into Montana, which really made it hard to breathe. So,
Yeah,
but other than that, it's all right and stuff.
I kind of like the smoky hardwood smell. You know, we got a bunch of that in Pennsylvania too. I like
Yeah.
the pink hazy colored skies and going riding on my bike and coughing and hacking for an hour afterwards because of inhaling literally smoke from pine trees in Canada mainly, I guess.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as a
It makes it
hardwood
difficult.
smell.
Yeah, it makes it difficult to have a fire at night, when you have all that smoke there. You just want to enjoy your own fire, but it's all around you.
Smell like a campfire constantly everywhere, even inside.
Yeah, man. Even when you pass gas, it's just
Still smell
it's
burning Canadian
unruly.
pine trees.
I know, right? Like I've got this friend named Angela that's up in British Columbia, and it was 124 degrees up there and
Yeah.
all that and stuff. Middle of July, like. And I guess where she lives and stuff, when forest fires break out, you are responsible for taking them out yourself. So
Oh,
she was
geez.
out. Oh yeah, she was out fighting 5 fires around her house
I guess I
and
would
all
do
that
it if I
along with the
saw one in
iron
in
ore.
certain spots, right? Like who wouldn't if there's a fire out back, which you don't want to be
I
there.
know.
It's if if there's nobody to call, well, I mean, I say it all the time. If you're wondering who the cavalry is, it's because you're the cavalry.
Right? You want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, for real. So head to
Yeah.
smashamash.com because we did it ourselves because we saw the writing writing on the wall with insane social media companies, which is I guess part of the reason why Twilite Conspiracies is so undersubscribed. So let's go check out their
Yeah.
channel here, William's channel. So Twilite Conspiracies, like no GH, just TWILIGHT. And it didn't find any. We'll actually search for channels here, and there you have it.
There it is.
So there you go. And he painstakingly making these videos. Clearly, I mean, this last one we just watched this a couple days ago. I don't think we saw his latest 2 uploads. They're just mysteriously not showing up. Is there anything you'd like me to place this on or anything?
Oh man, I anywhere you really want to put it. I mean, there's so much meaning behind this video.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
not for your younger viewers, perhaps, but
Um,
this is quite the video. And
yeah. The devil lives in the machine.
seems
That's
like it
for sure.
does. Yeah, seems like it
Yeah.
does. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back to that. We'll play a little clip from this, and I'll put the audio on full here for a minute, and then we'll be right
Oh
back.
yeah.
I think that's a pretty good little tidbit there. That should get a bunch of people. Oh, geez, and we've created some of our own conspiracies here,
Right.
wondering what is going on with our screen sharing. All right, so that was some interesting symbolism and so on, and I've noticed throughout watching the videos that there, like I said, an incredible amount of detail in them. And that's part of the reason why we approached you about maybe making a video for us.
Hmm.
Not that we're anti the music. I just don't have the time, energy, or inclination to make videos as complicated as you do.
Right.
So I figured I have a track that you may want to make a video for, and I sort of had a concept for it. I don't know how much of that you got or not, but I think we sort of. I mean, I still should really make a storyboard because it's basically like a space train, I guess. And
Yeah.
it's not a Trump reference for anybody anybody out there thinking that it's some kind of a Trump reference. I made this song in like
Right.
2005, so it has nothing to do with politics. Period.
Yeah. I like the song, man. I mean, like Hemisphere is pretty good. Like it's got an odd
Thank
time
you.
signature, and it's just oh, how would I say it? It's very unique. It really gives me some really cool imagery in my head. I mean, like your idea that you have for the space train and stuff is extremely intriguing because it's just how like if I can get my brother who actually has gone to school for video production,
Hmm.
I got him in the process of making the space train sequence. So if I can get the camera,
Hmm.
if you can get the camera to pan in and out and around
Oh yeah, that would
the
be
train,
amazing.
yeah, and then like every time it goes into the different sections of the train cars and all that will be what you were asking and stuff, where it's a different part of civilization, kind of like Snowpiercer in a way.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's sort of what the idea was. You know, maybe a relocated civilization, maybe just a large spacefaring train. You know, who knows? Who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, that's that particular song, by the way, that wasn't actually made with that in mind. That sort of came out afterwards. Um,
Yeah.
I made that whole song out of a tiny little clip of somebody's piano stuff. So there's a guy called ELP. He's on the
ELP.
Definitive Jux label, along with people like RJD2 and Murs. And
Mm,
I had his album. His father was like a classical pianist. He's a record producer for that, one of the major producers of
yeah.
that label. And he
Hmm.
had an album that was just a bunch of like weird artistic piano tracks. I just took a
Mm,
tiny little bit, and that's where that whole song came from. It was basically just a song for music's sake. It didn't have a concept behind it, but because of the insane amount of distortion and stuff we put at the end, that's why it sounds like the engines of a ship or something.
yeah. I thought it's very multi-layered, like like you told me when you first had me listen to it, and I was like, music doesn't have any rules,
Yeah, yeah.
and I really love how the fact that this goes against any rule that you could have made for it, and it's unique, man. I mean, I dig it. I really do. I think it's
Have you ever
I
heard
think it's well put
Godflesh?
together.
You ever hear a band
Um,
Godflesh? They're like an industrial band, mainly from the early '90s. That
I
was
think so.
actually an influence on that. Okay, because
Yeah, I
Godflesh
could see
uses a
it.
lot of syncopated, really loud drum machines, just
Yeah,
pounding industrial drum machines, and
yeah,
that's part of where that song came from too.
yeah.
I actually have a drum machine too. Believe it or not. Well, I don't think I can hold it up. Oh, maybe I can. There you
I
go. There's my DR 770.
think it's nice.
My
Those
Boss.
are fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I
Those
mean,
are fun.
it's like having a whole trap set and a hell of a lot more in this little
Yeah.
tiny box. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, so that's sort of where Hemi's Here came from, and I don't think that song is even available to listen to anyplace yet, except for on a YouTube video, which just has an image of the sun and like a jet stream forecast map or something.
Right.
But
Well, you'll have a really nice video to go with it here in the near future,
oh,
so
that's crazy. I
you'll
didn't
be
know if you
proud
were
of it.
actually in production of making that or not. So that's just
Oh,
awesome.
hell yeah.
And thanks. And once again, everybody go subscribe to his channel. Some of the original tracks you hear on this channel will appear there, you know. So and
Right
oh,
on.
and thanks for subscribing, Evan. Cheers.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think you said, did you say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you make the videos first and then make the music as accompaniment?
Um, Actually, no. I sit down and I write out the song and just let it organically build.
So the music comes
And when
first.
I'm music comes first, all the creativity comes first, and then the video kind of is organically done as well. It's just will look for things on like Vidvio or Videvo or Pexels.com or something like that, and just look for something to kind of build kind of what the song is speaking to me as.
All right.
And I also tie it into the events of our world now, and also a lot of it as my past. Like my entire album that I wrote last year um, is basically a soundtrack to my life.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's basically a soundtrack to my life and
So I
all
got to
that.
listen to that like a
So
rock opera then one of these days.
yeah, I mean the last three songs on that album, Beyond a Distant Cold Memory, is they're all three in sequence, so they have to be played as kind of like an octavarium, I guess, and all
Oh,
that. And I wanted to make something that really
nice.
stuck out. And so since like I was mentioning to you earlier and stuff, I got nuked on Facebook like 4 years ago, and they anytime I posted something, it was just nuke after nuke after nuke. So
What
they
do you mean by,
monitor.
for the viewers, what do you mean by nuked on Facebook?
If I post anything, it could be anything. I could post a picture of macaroni and cheese, and they'll throw me in Facebook jail for a month.
Oh,
Like
really?
it's ridiculous, man. Like, and it's whenever they're so-called fact checkers and all that decide to be like, maybe I'll let this one go or whatever. So sometimes I can post like a new song out on Facebook, but nobody will view it. Like they censored everything that I post, so that really sucks. And
Which reminds
it's
me,
also can.
has the U.S. government decided to protect us by creating a ministry of truth yet? I think that could be a great. Maybe they could get Facebook to head up the ministry of truth. Wouldn't that be awesome? All right. So let's see. So making a video for you, you make the music first. When you make the
Yeah,
music first, does that? I mean, is that like everybody else? Most people who make music, and I started in about 1999, sort of making a bit of an honest effort to make some, not really a whole lot of marketing, but and definitely not a lot of money made making the music. But all that aside, you know, usually start with a concept, with a drum beat, a tiny melody, a series of words might lead to something, right? Like, is that basically the same as everybody else, as far as I'm aware? And by the way, we're actually going to interview more musicians on the channel soon too.
that'd
So
be cool.
maybe you'll have the opportunity to do collabs with them as well.
Yeah, that'd be neat. That would be neat.
Well, fingers
Well,
crossed.
I
We'll
would
see what
love to.
happens.
Yeah, that would be something really, really cool to do in the future. That's for sure.
Should I try queuing up another one of your videos?
If you want to.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like me to show the viewers?
Um, let's
Now they're all
see.
getting an idea of the videos that I watch, such as Kyle Dunnigan pretending that he's Sylvester Stallone and Caitlyn Jenner, and it's just incredible.
I think one of the other really popular videos that are on there are um, Romancing of the Fiery Skies and all that. Um, that's a good one. I know a lot of people like that one. Mm.
Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, there it is. I don't know if I watched this one myself yet. All right, I'm going to give myself a teaser now. Here's my own trailer. I'm going to have to try and figure out what this means by watching the video later.
All right.
It'll appear in my history. I am viewing this as smAsho, by the way. All right, so let's see what this is. 3, 2, 1. See, now I gotta say, I was not expecting that. That has like a crazy '80s vibe to it, and that was a huge surprise. All right, so that had an interesting '80s vibe. I was not expecting that. And anything you'd like to say about that video?
Um, See, 80s synthwave music is probably one of my most favorite genres of music ever. I mean, like, I was born in 84, so
Okay.
anything 80s, like,
Now's a
I
good
don't
time
know.
to be doing that because it's very popular, all that synth stuff now.
Oh yeah, like Netflix's Stranger Things and stuff, with Perturbator and doing what they did and stuff for that show. I really love the fact that the 80s synthwave scene is starting to come back, which is nice because that was the ultimate creativity when it came to music and all that. I mean, you could be a one-man band and create some of the craziest stuff and just, you know, tell a story with your music and everything and have a really cool 80s vibe to it.
It looked like
So,
a silhouette of Belinda Carlisle in outline. So that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, is that what's going on here? So I'll have to check that one out later. I admit I haven't watched it yet,
no, it's okay.
but we'll go through and you'll at least get one view on all of those. And
No,
hopefully you'll get some subs. I mean, get this guy to 100 subscribers. It's not like
that would be nice.
it's not like he's some kind of slacker. You know, the quality of these videos is pretty ridiculous. I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of resolution are these things in? Are they in like 4K too? Because it's beyond the resolution displayable on any of my screens, I think.
Yeah. See, I discovered was it KindMaster? And when you can export the video that you do in there and stuff, adding the little effects and stuff like that. I
It
thought
is
it was really
seamless,
neat.
man. Those videos are
Yeah.
seamless.
Yeah. I mean, I used a Windows Movie Maker, the old school Windows Movie Maker and stuff for the editing software, and it's still a fantastic software, I think, and all that to be
Really?
able to put stuff to. Yeah. Uh, I tried DaVinci. I don't care for DaVinci at all. That is really confusing and stuff. I don't like things that have a really huge learning curve
Mm.
and all that, and that's something you have to go to school for. So it's just like, that.
What about Adobe Premiere? Do you like Adobe Premiere?
um, I can't afford it. My brother's got it. I know he has used it for the past 8 years. The different types of Adobes and all that. So
Well, you know, if he would happen to come over to your place and happen to use your PC, I think he'd be able to legally happen to install it on your PC and then just
yeah,
accidentally forget to uninstall it. I would think that would
I
be a
know, right? Yeah, that would be nice.
so I mean I don't actually use it myself. When I used to make videos, I think there are some really old videos like about snowboarding, maybe on my personal YouTube
Mhm.
channel, I forget, but I've got
Yeah.
a lot of like pretty well produced videos on there, you know, some gaming videos certainly. And I used to love Premiere. It's so intuitive.
Yeah.
But you know, you might be able to get a
To get
licensed
some neat
copy.
stuff.
You might be able to get a licensed copy just by getting a library card. Because if your library has it to check out, you can just bring it home and install it, and then you'll have a legit copy.
Huh. Never thought of that.
Yeah, one of my friends realized this when he was in college. He's like, "We'll just install the OS on your computer and then install all the software because
Right.
it's legal. It's obtained legally in the first place. So it's
Yeah.
your brother wouldn't want to not have the convenience of being able to use the software when he comes over. That would be terrible, and Adobe would
Yeah.
never stand for such a thing.
Yeah.
Although I didn't consult their board before telling you this.
Ah.
So anything else you'd like to talk about? You know, we've got another like 5 minutes or so.
Mm.
Anything else you'd like to bring up?
Um, I love your channel, man. Your cosmology stuff that you put out there, the space weather. Um, I find it absolutely fascinating
Well,
and all
thank
that.
you.
I mean, I've checked out some other ones and all that throughout. See Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube and everything. And I like your stuff. Your stuff is it's pretty right on. So, and I'd have to say you're a good 98% um spot on when it comes to how the weather is going to be for the day. Like I'm shocked, dude. You really know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, I hope what's going on is people are watching the videos and they're getting better at forecasting their own weather themselves. It's
Yeah.
what meteorologists largely act like forecasting weather is some kind of incredibly complicated thing, but if you have access to a couple, like you don't necessarily have to look at models. If you're trying to do like a 1 day forecast, it's pretty easy. If like if the jet stream's about to move in or something like that, you can be sure it's going to get cold, or it's not really that hard. So, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it's part of the reason I'm wearing this jersey, right? Like part of the reason I
Hmm.
got so good at weather forecasting is because one day I saw there was thunderstorms rolling in, coming east down the mountain range, and I said, "Oh, if I ride now and I go over the mountain, head down there, and then come back on this side, the roads will be dry by the time I get back."
Right.
And when I did that, I was like, I guess I'm pretty good at this. So why not share, right?
Yeah.
The space weather stuff is largely from other channels. Other
Yeah.
channels
Yeah.
did this but not that, and this but not that. I knew it was going to
Yeah.
be a huge effort to try and get all the imagery of the sun, all the close-ups of the flares and sunspots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
You
it
put a lot more
certainly is.
detail into it. You definitely do put a lot more detail into it. And I love the humor. The humor is great.
Well, thanks. We appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I think there's some weird stuff that happened too here. We got some forecasting value that we weren't even wanting to get. I wasn't trying to forecast coronal mass ejections. I wasn't trying to explain the solar cycles. That
Hmm.
just happened. That's how it is. When you immerse yourself in the data, in the science, folks, you go down this rabbit hole. You can't tell what's down there. It's because you're asking a certain question, and you might not get an answer to that question. You'll almost certainly get lots of other questions, and you might get answers to questions not asked.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of why it's called a rabbit hole, right?
Yeah. We've had the weirdest weather this year. Oh my God. Incredible. Like that jet stream is not even a jet stream anymore. It's just all over the place.
Well, it's still there. It's just making really weird bends.
Yeah.
And,
I've never seen it so screwed up in my life.
that water vapor map. I can't stress it enough. If you can see
It's
what's going on
pretty.
in the water vapor, you can tell what's going on in your Doppler radar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Doppler radar, if you see a system that's just like weirdly hanging out and it's not really moving at all, it's just sitting in the same place,
Yeah.
it's usually because there's no jet stream there, you know.
Yeah.
But it's I think eventually I'm when we first started talking about meteorology on the channel, we even had a guy argue that the areas around low pressure consist of more massive air than the areas on a clear day. And it's a little known fact that a clear day, the air is more massive on a clear day than on a rainy day. Period.
Yeah.
Lower barometric pressure means literally the air is less massive. And again, this largely comes from cycling because I'm a time
Yeah.
trial specialist. So a hot, humid, like if you're doing a race and there's a hurricane where you are, it will be really fast. Like it's literally faster in a crazy tropical storm downpour than it is on a clear sunny day.
Wow.
Despite all that water being all over you and on the bike and everything, it doesn't matter because the main thing that's holding you back is still the air pressure.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's another rabbit hole, man. Maybe we
Yeah.
can talk you into
So
buying a
many.
bike one day. Do you have any
Uh,
crazy
no, I got
mountains around where you are? What's the
um
topography like in your part of Montana?
well, Great Falls is more it's the center of Montana. So it's we got a lot of plains, a lot of coulees and everything. So about an hour outside of Great Falls in any direction really and stuff, you'll start running into some mountains and
Oh,
all
okay.
that. So
It's like a large
yeah, we
prairie
have
area surrounded by mountains. That sounds pretty sweet.
yeah. Depending on where you go. If you drive east, straight from Great Falls over to like Sydney, Montana, or North or South Dakota and stuff, it's nothing but flat, and it's a really boring drive.
Ah. Do you do
Well,
anything like ski, snowboard?
no, I can't do any of that. I ride a bike every now and a great while,
Sweet.
and stuff. So I usually do 50-mile bike rides whenever I decide to
Oh,
go out on
damn.
my bike and stuff.
That's the
But the
real
world's
deal.
been a little weird. World's been a little weird lately, so we got a lot of interesting, colorful people showing up inside of our city. So
Well, it's
no,
part of everybody's disaster preparedness should be a bicycle, right? Because if the grid shuts down for years and years, guess who will be delivering everything everywhere? You think it'll be trucks? What happens when the diesel runs out?
so
I don't foresee a
yeah,
Walking Dead for scenario. By the way, I'm just kind of
yeah,
being facetious here, but
right.
seriously, if you did get a Walking Dead scenario, you better have a bike because it's the most efficient means ever devised to transport humans.
Right. I hope it's kind of like if that was to be the case and everything, I would hope it would be like Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero, where they're like walking only 1 mile an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I don't
know,
like the fast running zombies. Yeah, I
yeah,
completely agree there. Yeah. No fast running
yeah,
zombies, please. I can deal with the slow
and
ones.
none of that Walking Dead garbage. You know, when it comes to zombie apocalypse and everything and stuff. Who cares about the human aspect of it?
The Walking Dead is a The Walking Dead is a writing apocalypse. They're like, what are we gonna do
uh,
next? I don't know. Let's go into their histories again. They're
uh,
so out of show. The
makes
genre
me lose my hair.
the genre's dead, man. Like the genre is literally now a caricature of itself because the genre is now a zombie. There's like too much stuff
Oh,
about zombies. I can't take it. Stop with the
it's
zombie
like the
stuff.
whole it's like the whole thing about vampires and stuff. I mean, like when they
Yeah.
brought out
The
Twilight, that really ruined it all.
the mid 90s, it was cool when Buffy came out,
Yeah,
and then after that,
yeah,
it got played. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree.
yeah. So anymore nowadays and stuff, it's just kind of, it's a waste of time and stuff to watch really any of that stuff. And there's far more interesting things out in the world. So we
Indeed.
got
And
to keep ourselves busy.
speaking of more interesting
Like,
things, go subscribe to his channel. We got to end this thing, man. But thanks for coming in, and
oh yeah,
we'll be watching your videos later today. That'll be like our dinner entertainment and so on.
oh,
And
awesome.
yeah, so make sure you subscribe to Twilight Conspiracies. Thanks again for coming on,
Oh yeah.
Willis, and we'll see you later,
Thank you
viewers.
much.
Don't forget to press like and subscribe, both the channels, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks. All right. Take care, man.
All right, I'll see you.